In today's video, I'm gonna show you how I built this track from scratch. So in most cases, when I start working on a new track or beat, I personally start with the drums. So let's get started with the kick drum. Okay, now let's add some claps. And then let's also add some snaps just to make the claps a little bit thicker. Okay, and now I'm looking for something a little bit like, yeah, sounds pretty cool. Okay, and now some hi-hats. Okay, I'm just gonna pan them a little bit. Now I want to add one additional hi-hat layer, just like for them to stand out a little bit more. Okay, so next I want to add is the type of hi-hats that you hear a lot in like jazz songs. All right, so drums are done, but before we move to the melodies, I just want to quickly show you what I did here. I added a drum bus and I put the different drum sounds, except the kick drum, in it because I want them to groove a little bit more. And one way to achieve that is by putting a sidechain on them, and I use Kickstart 2 for that. So if I solo it, you will now hear the different drum sounds. So this is just, like before. Now let me enable the kickstart, so the sidechain. It's very subtle, but it definitely gives a little bit more groove. And here is now everything together. All right, so that's it for the drums. Now let's move to the melodies. All right, cool. So we put down the melody. Now for the vocals, I found this pretty cool sample, which I believe would actually fit very well with the melody, but let's listen to the sample first. Okay, and now let's see how it sounds together with the melody. Yeah, So as you can see here, I did a little bit of work, one of which are the vocals. I just want to make sure that there's a nice transition when they go from one to the next. And the other thing is I felt that the bass that we initially made sounds great, but when the drums come together, I just felt it was a little bit too weak. So I added an additional layer to it that we can listen to right now. And then when everything comes together, it sounds like this. So to finish the track, it is very important that you have lows and highs within the track. So in my case, I just added additional layers so that when everything is playing together, there will be this moment where there is like a burst of energy. So what I did is I added this additional layer right here, which is actually following the melody of the core melody. So here's the core melody. And then I just added the exact same thing, just using a different sort of synth pluck sound. You can hear it already gives it more energy. On top of that, I added a sort of like dirty synth sound, which is actually following the melody of the bass, and that is really helping to give it that energy when you go from one section of the song to the next. So let's have a listen to it. And finally, one thing that we can never forget is like adding those crashes or simple crashes whenever we go from one section to the song to the next, where we want to have this real impact when additional instruments like this plug and synth that I just added come into play. So what I did here is I added 3, so you can listen to one by one. Second one, which is more like a whoosh sort of sound. Third one, just kind of like claps with heavy reverb. So if you play the 3 together, you just get like a much richer sound. Okay, so now let's listen to how it sounds when we go from the more quieter section of the song to the part where everything is sort of coming together. And And that's it. So here's now a snippet of the track. You can see that I arranged quite a lot of things. I played around with the vocals. I added some additional effects. But anyway, so I'm going to show you now here a snippet of it. If you want to listen to the entire track, just go to my Spotify or my Apple Music or my SoundCloud. And if you liked the video today, I would really appreciate it if you left a comment, hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.